been 2 years since I broke the tape, and I'm getting anxious to do it again. And I've definitely had the fitness to do it. I've been in a situation where that was in my grasp, and I just haven't executed well enough to do that. And so, yeah, those are the things that are going through my mind and what's fueling this final prep into the race. So another race week is upon us, I guess. When I was planning out the season, I didn't really plan on racing this close together. I do typically like to put races together in chunks. So get fit, race off that fitness, take a break, and then do the same thing again. But I didn't plan on doing St. George and then both Chatty and Des Moines. It was usually going to be either or. But talking with Matt and Julie after St. George and trying to figure out which one to do, they were on board with me doing both if the body felt good. And with QR being in Chattanooga and that just being a great course for me overall, we made the decision to definitely do that. And Julie said, well, you'll probably know about 10K into the run if you're willing to, if you're physically and mentally ready to push yourself for another full after that. And so I think I might have changed my mind 3 times during the race, but overall the body was feeling good, the mind was in a good spot, I had fun, and so that's kind of a good key that I can keep on pushing. Plus, I didn't want to start my Kona build June 1. I'd much rather start it end of June, keep it a little bit shorter. So made the decision to race Des Moines, and then I'll take a break and then slowly start the ramp up into Kona. I guess another factor obviously is the Collins Cup. I am right now sitting in the top 6, but I'm not comfortably in the top 4, so I would need to get selected with a captain's pick if things were to end as they are now. And so racing Des Moines and racing the Canadian Open will be my last 2 shots to have a higher point race to hopefully help move me up. So yeah, I would much more prefer to try to move myself into the top 4 rather than to just hope that I I have the captain's fancy. So there's a number of reasons that this race could be, important to me, or I'm hoping to make it a special day. Obviously, I spent a large portion of my adult life living in Iowa, and so it kind of, I guess, when it was first announced, it was going to be my hometown race, and it was definitely one I was keying off of. But I've since moved to Colorado since the race was kicked down the can a little bit. But so that's definitely a big thing for me. My wife is racing, my sister's racing, my entire family will be there. So that's fun as well. I'll definitely have some support out there. And then, it's a North American Championship race, and, I've won the North American Championships 3 times, and I would love to make it number 4. And I think doing that in Iowa would be, in front of my friends and family who are going to come out, would be a pretty special moment. So another reason that I wanted to go to Des Moines is it has the potential to be hot and humid, and getting more opportunities to race in that environment. It could be very windy as well. We'll see what happens, but just getting the opportunities to race well and to run well in those conditions are things that I don't want to miss out on. And it could, the 70.3 there last year, they had to shorten it a little bit, and it still turned into a survival day for many people, just because it rained hard in the morning, and then it heated up really, really good in the afternoon. And so it turned into a really rough day. And, if it does that, I think there's a couple guys on the start line who are hoping that it does that. T.O. is probably one of them. He races really well in the heat. And, so that, might move the pendulum a little bit in his favor. But, I really believe that with the changes that I've done and the prep that I've done, I've been racing well in hot and humid conditions. I certainly ran well last week or 2 weeks ago in Chattanooga. Last couple 70.3s in humid conditions were favorable for me. And so I think that I'm doing things right, and if those conditions do present themselves, I think I'll be prepared for it.